Hey guys, I am Foxtrot Delta, and welcome back, finally, to Space Engineers. I am really excited to be recording another episode of this. I know it's been quite a while, but I've been playing a lot of it, and I've done some pretty cool things. I've tried to build stuff, and this majestic creation you see in front of you, this Federation starship, at least that's what it's supposed to look like, covered with all kinds of beautiful lights and very deadly looking weapon systems. This is my first attempt at a large ship in Space Engineers. It is the Cascade Class light destroyer, and as you can see, I was trying to make a Star Trek themed design. I don't believe the Cascade Class is an actual ship, so I think I'm in the clear regarding that. Let me see. Okay, so, how about I give you a tour? Now, I'm actually going to grab my person here. I was in spectator mode. Okay, here we are. So, the Cascade Class Light Destroyer. I wanted to combine various elements of other types of starships, so we have a little bit of a, well, it looks somewhat similar to a Miranda class. But it also has a secondary hull, unlike a Miranda class. And it has a main shuttle bay up here, which is kind of like an element from the Kelvin type vessel from the new movies. Now, this ship, the goal in the end is for it to be compatible for survival worlds. Right now, however, it is not. It does have thrusters and weapon systems and med bays and cryopods, and all kinds of lights inside and out, and gyros, and all of the thrusters. If we go in, actually, let me go to use my spectator cam. If we go into spectator mode here, you can see all of the thrusters are piped using, well, you can't see anything here, using this conveyor technology. We have hydrogen generators going to large thrusters, but the issue is that these generators are not connected to any kind of large hydrogen tanks, nor are the thrusters in the saucer section here connected to any sort of central cargo system. So this really is made currently for use in creative mode. However, it is a work in progress. If you do want to check out this ship, you can find it as Star Trek in parentheses Cascade Class Light Destroyer on the workshop. I also have the link for it down below. And I guess I will have to show you what the inside is like. Now, the inside is not nearly as cool as the outside. I'm really proud of the outside on this. I have the navigation lights here. They're blinking. They're on, like, I think, a 6.2 second cycle. And for 80% of that time, they're on. And for 20%, they're off. And one other feature of, or actually, one other feature that isn't really common among ships from the era I try to portray here, I wanted to make this an original series type of vessel, is you can see there are actually lights on the main deflector dish. We have these side corner lights along the edges of this, well, it's supposed to be a disc for the main deflector. It's kind of just a, well, it's as close to a circle as I can get using square blocks. But it does have lights around it, which is not something you see in the original series. Sure, the nacelles would light up, but not the main deflector, but I thought it would just add a little bit more depth to the creation, make it look a little bit larger, more impressive, more futuristic. We have lights on the Bassard collectors here, all around the side. We also have a light blue glow from the nacelles here, a bunch of hydrogen thrusters as well, but we actually have spotlights behind the main hydrogen thruster somewhere. I'm not going to look for it right now, but believe me, they're there. Also, if we come down here, this is supposed to be the impulse section. We have a whole bunch of red lights up top, a bunch of hydrogen thrusters. There is the main shuttle bay, which looks really cool when it's open. However, it's not that tall. The doors only go up that far, so you can't fit very vertically emphasized creations in there without having to trim some blocks. Also, we have these aft nacelle lights, which blink in sync with the navigation lights on the main primary hull. If I just stay here for a second, yep, they both blinked, and one bit of detailing I'm really impressed with myself about are these blue lights along the bridge. Look at those. It really highlights the command section of the ship, and of course we have spotlights. Anything else I've missed? Well, not really. How about I show you the inside? That's what I said I was going to do, and that is how we shall proceed. So I could just sort of cheat and go in through the back of the bridge. I did put a door here for convenience because the inside's a little chaotic. As I believe I began to mention before, I really focused on the exterior versus the interior, so it's a little bit confusing, hopefully not too confusing. So we go in here, close the doors. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this ship is made with the idea of being used in survival in mind, but it's not quite ready yet, so we do not have a working oxygen system. There are no air vents keeping pressure, so for now it is just creative mode only. As we enter on the starboard side of the ship, we'll come across a door. We'll also come across the same door on the port side, because this thing is a one mirror image across the center line. It's the same on the left as it is on the right. So here's a door. Look at that. What could this possibly be? This is a room with windows. That is its sole purpose, and it has a flight seat just because it can. Also, I guess it could be used as sort of an observation area for when you're docking in space dock or something, just to keep track of what's going in and coming out of the star bases and who's entering and leaving the ship right here through the airlock. Over here we have a hydrogen generator and a conveyor system. If we close this door and keep going to our... Let's go to our left. We will see a chair with some batteries. This is part of the auxiliary, there we go, power reserves on the ship. It has reactors and batteries. I also have some gyros here just because I can. As I mentioned, there's the same amount of stuff on the right as the left, so it's just a mirror image across the central axis of the ship. Again, more windows. I don't want to bore you too much with the little details, but I have to admit I am kind of proud of myself for building this. As I mentioned, or as I said before, this is the first ship I have built, the first large ship. And now that I've said that, I'm going to tell you that is a lie. This is actually the second ship. The first ship I made was a somewhat, actually, it was very small, large ship. And its sole purpose was to carry larger ships, clamp onto them, and then pick them up out of the atmosphere with hydrogen thrusters, and then jump using jump drives. That was it. This is the only actual meaningful design I've created that actually is going to be used as a full-time ship. It can do all sorts of things. It has weapons. It has passenger seats. It's just a well-rounded vessel. Again, here's that hydrogen generator. Here are more... Wait, or is this the hydrogen generator? Do I have two? I'm not sure anymore. But the point is, this entire section of hydrogen generators and conveyors is made for the thrusters that are directly underneath where I'm standing. So actually, I believe those are these thrusters right here. They're connected to the conveyor system, to the hydrogen generators, which, as I mentioned earlier, are not connected to any central system, so it's not really going to work that well in survival unless you run around to all of the hydrogen generators and reload them individually throughout the ship, and that can be tedious. Let's go back into first person. I'm going to go through this as quick as I can. That is the aft section of an ion engine in front. We're toward the front of the ship right now. Let's go through here. You can see that we have a huge conveyor system, and that is because every turret, one thing I did that makes this closer to survival ready is that every turret on the vessel is connected to the central cargo area, which is located here. We have a bunch of small cargo containers, actually quite a few, all linked together, and we have an entire vast network of conveyor systems and blocks. Also, there is a med bay right there. Okay, so proceeding forwards, and on the starboard side, we will come across the main observation lounge / forward control center / cryo room, because I had nothing better to put in here, and you can see we have more of these hydrogen generators and conveyor junction boxes to convey the hydrogen that's being created down into the thruster assembly down below. As I already mentioned, cryo bays, more cryo bays. And on the right side, it is the exact same as the left. We can even go through here. We have passenger seats. Let's go here. We should have the airlock. Yes, we do. Over here. More batteries and more gyros. And there's also one room in the aft section of the primary hull which we can go into, and that would be... well, there's more than one room, but there's one interesting room that's unlike any other in the ship, and that is the Gyro Room. This entire section of the vessel is dedicated solely to the protection and upkeep of the gyroscopes on the vessel. Virtually all of them are here except for the 4 in total, I believe, we saw in the battery rooms. So this is a very maneuverable ship for its size. It is 7,768 blocks, so still a multiplayer server-friendly vessel, but not too small and definitely not too large. Okay, but I know what you guys want to see. You want to see the main bridge. So here is the main bridge. We're going to go up. There are the doors, and look at that. The main bridge. We have lights, we have glass panes, we have some sort of vents in the front, and the thing about this ship is I took a lot of time using other designs on the workshop before I actually began building my own vessel, trying to find some inspiration. How did people create the vessels they did? What sort of engineering techniques were the best? And this glass design with the metal vents in the front, I saw that on the bridge of another ship, and I thought that is a very interesting way to give sort of an armored feel to the bridge, while at the same time being able to see out in front. And as you can see, when I'm in the flight seat, you can look right outside, and it looks really cool. So that's one design aspect that I didn't create myself, but I did see it, and I thought, okay, this is really neat. Moving on. And I'm sure many people have done that in their vessels as well, not just the one that I saw, but I'm sure that's a very popular way to design a ship. Moving on, what else is there? We could, well, let's see, we have a sound block there for alarms. I could show you either the main shuttle bay, which is up that long stairway into darkness, or I could show you main engineering, which is a straight drop into doom. I'm going to show you the main shuttle bay first because it's the less spectacular of the two. I think so anyway. It's still great looking. Look at those blue spotlights I have. I could have just made a shuttle bay with just these lights on the sides, but I thought there was something missing. What would be really neat? And that, well, the answer to that was solved by these blue spotlights. It really adds a whole sense of atmosphere to the ship. Again, going for that technologically advanced feel. I can open the doors here. I can open the doors here, close them here, and I know it's very difficult to tell which one of these buttons does what function because they both say shuttle bay doors, but I mean, if you hit this button, you're going to see that nothing happens. If you hit the left button, they open, right button, they close. So left is open, right is closed. It's the same on the panel over there. As I mentioned, the entire ship is symmetrical, which really made it a lot easier than I thought it would be to design this. This took about 3 or 4 days. Well, it took about 3 solid nights of working out the design, and then another 4th day of sort of going over it and seeing what issues there were, what errors I just made. And actually, while recording this video a few minutes ago, I discovered that one of my interior lights was out of place, so I just adjusted that and re-uploaded the design. Shuttle Bay spotlights button's right here. We can actually, well, look at the sunrise right there. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? Okay, look at that. There's the shuttle bay. Well, obviously. Let's go back inside. Not much to see out here. I also want to show you the shuttle bay control center / control room. And this also can function as a backup bridge when the bridge is destroyed. And I probably should have done that in other sections of the ship as well. Also, the forward observation bay has a bunch of chairs in it too that face forward, so that works as a bridge as well, but it's a lot more exposed. This, even though the chair faces backwards, you can control the ship if the main cockpit is destroyed. The main cockpit is on the bridge. It's the main central control seat. You can only control the ship from there as long as that seat is there. But if I just fly backwards, it'll go forward. So it's the same thing. So I've had to use that in the past when my bridge was destroyed. I don't even know why I brought it up really. The main function of this section is to just keep watch over the vessels that come in and out of the main shuttle bay. Not many vessels, not many ships, not many shuttlecraft, not many small craft can actually fit between the doors and the floor here. Only very thin ones can. I may at some point raise these blast doors well, I guess they're just called airtight hangar doors, up a little bit higher to let larger ships in, because the ceiling goes higher than these doors, which doesn't make much sense. So I think I may adjust that in the future, as I should have mentioned before, and I think I may already have. I'm still working on this design. It is a work in progress. I'm still learning. Okay, let's go back down. I'm going to show you guys main engineering, which is really cool. At least I thought it was really cool when I was designing it. Now, I built the entire exterior of the ship first, more or less, and then added the interior, so it was kind of difficult navigating through the pitch black interior, putting all the walls and doors in. I should have tried to find a nice balance of building the exterior and interior at the same time, but I didn't. Anyway, here is main engineering. Not much space because I wanted this to be survival ready at some point, so I have a whole bunch of conveyor junctions. I have the main reactors here hooked up to each other into the ceiling. I have conveyors going to the... I have conveyor tubes going to the conveyor junctions, which are connected to small reactors along the sides of main engineering. We also have that nice, soft, orangey yellow glow casting down. It really gives this section of the vessel like an almost boiler room type of feel. Like this is where all of the hard work in the ship happens, you know. We have control centers down here for engineering teams. It feels like I'm in the boiler room of some old steamship. That's the sort of feeling I wanted it to give off. We have the gravity generator here, and we also, if I can figure out how I designed this, where did I put it? Where did I put it? I know I have the distress call beacon somewhere in this room. Ah, here it is, hiding up here in the ceiling. This is a beacon. I can turn that on. It'll send out a distress call at 50,000 kilometers range. Although that can always be adjusted by the player. If we proceed to the back, you can see that we have another row. Well, actually, you really can't. Just trust me on this, though. We have another row of small reactors behind these conveyor junction boxes and tubes. That's where everything's going. Yeah, you can't see it at all, but they are there. So maintenance is kind of tricky, I suppose, when trying to access those. But I just wanted as much power as I possibly could. And we have a jump range of about, I think it's 5,898 or 99 kilometers. So we can jump very far. We are currently in the regular solar system map. So we can jump to Mars and back to Earth, I believe, with just one charge of our jump drives, because we have that much power. So what else is in this room that's cool? Oh, the design. I thought that I would try to keep the main reactors in the center, and at first I didn't have these conveyor junctions here, so it was easy to walk along the reactors. Because there was another block over here, but then I realized I had to put these in. It was going to get really cramped really quickly, so I actually have the reactors oriented in such a way that I can walk underneath these side sections without, well, usually without bumping my head on the, on the reactor casing itself. So everything just fits in here just well enough. So that is main engineering. I don't think I've missed anything. We also have some hydrogen thrusters in the front here, right behind the main deflector dish, well, actually to either side of the main deflector dish. And if you guys couldn't guess by looking outside before, this is where the quote-unquote impulse engines are. Behind these conveyors are the hydrogen thrusters for the impulse engines. Okay. I think I can safely head back to the main bridge area. Now, actually, where... I get confused in my own ship. It's difficult, okay? Alright, there we go. You can see the main shuttle bay is open. How much time do we have? Let's see. Yeah, we have a little bit of time left. Now, I'm actually going to set this vessel up against a few hostile ships, so I will be right back. I could have done the drone waves, but I think I'm just going to spawn in some regular red ships with some drone AI on them, because, well, it's just simpler that way. Alright guys, so I have returned. Also, I thought I would mention that this ship also is capable of easily handling itself in gravity environments. The Earth planet has 1.0 Gs, Mars has 0.9, I believe the alien planet has 1.1 Gs. This thing is covered in large hydrogen thrusters and small hydrogen thrusters on the bottom. Even with the entire front section of the saucer gone, or even missing an entire nacelle probably, this ship can support itself in regular gravity, no problem, so you shouldn't have any issues taking it down onto planet, setting up your base, whatever you want. So I have the red ship spawned in, and so I will just take a minute and turn them all into hostile, and we will get this battle underway. Okay guys, the battle is all set up. We have 7 enemy pirate-controlled red ships. Let's see if these turrets of mine can actually do some damage, or if we'll be destroyed ourselves. They are incoming. Now each one of those vessels has 1 Gatling turret, I believe, and 1 missile turret, although all those ships combined can definitely do some damage. I am positive. 3 kilometers out. Make sure the weapons, come on, weapon systems are all good. 800-meter radius. We have vessels closing at 1.5 kilometers. 4, 3, 2. Okay, we have something off the port side already firing. Let's drop our altitude here relative to the other ships. It's actually... oh no. Oh no. I think they're gonna ram it. No, maybe not. Let's turn. Wow. That is insane. Any severe damage? We have some wrinkling at the front of the primary hull there, at the saucer section, but no actual breaches or no major breaches as far as I can tell. We are getting some lag, but the computer should be fine. There's just a lot of explosions happening. Also, jump drives. The actual range, yeah. Whoa, it's 5,900. Well, now it's 5,905 because we've lost a few blocks. We don't weigh as much. Let's turn around. I can grab the alarm. And let's grab alert 2 here. Put it on 30 minutes loop time. We have an alarm going off. You probably can't hear it over the sound of the explosions in my wonderful voice, but trust me, it is there. Come on, let's turn. This is very maneuverable, as I mentioned, from all those gyroscopes at the center. It really performs like a bulky fighter, almost. Let's see if we can take something out by ramming it. Because collisions are always fun. There we go. Not much. Not much happened there. But we can ram him and everyone else. Alright. We've actually lost the antenna. Let's grab the distress call. Now, if I had any sort of sense in me, I'd have my toolbar at the bottom full of different systems that I can operate from this control seat. Like I'd have the alarm there, I'd have the shuttle bay there, and eventually in the final version of this ship, I probably oh no. Oh no. We have a major breach. Main engineering has taken a... oh, let's just face it, main engineering isn't there anymore. Our engineering teams were just all sucked out into space. Speaking of that, airtightness is something that this ship is not. I already mentioned it does not have vents. It also doesn't have enough doors. Like, right now, that breach in engineering probably would have sucked out all of the air on the bridge, too. Because I have no doors in between. Alright. Let's do this. Now, I have a lot of upwards thrust, so I could ram into a vessel doing that. Yes. Was it worth it, though? Probably not. Although we are pushing... oh my gosh, the bridge! The bridge has been hit. I mean, well, obviously the bridge has been hit. We've lost the entire starboard side of the bridge. And we seem to have wedged the enemy inside. Let's go down now. Let's try to get out of this death grip we're stuck in. We still have a few operable weapon systems on the port side. Oh, the Shuttle Bay is no longer, well, no longer whole. We're losing blocks out of the port nacelle. Lights are still going, though. Uh-oh. We have an incoming thing. Let's try to slip underneath them. I'm not sure if we did that successfully or not. I think so. Well, successfully is all relative. This is pretty much a failure. It's too many ships. Even though we have more weapons, our weapons are somewhat dumb, and they only target what they want. For instance, we aren't focusing on their weapon systems, we seem to be focusing on the nearest block, whether it be an engine or a gravity generator or something that's non-critical compared to their weapon systems. But at least we are firing. Let's get a cinematic shot of this. Where's our ship? There it is. Oh, there's what's left of it. Not much left. Oh, we're upside down. Not much left. I think at this point they're just chasing after us to ram into it. Okay, let's actually try to angle ourselves down so our missile turret can get some solid hits. There we go. We still have some forward thrust and some upward thrust. The port nacelle is almost cut in two pieces. Also, I apologize if the game sounds are too loud or too soft. I really don't know what it's gonna be like until I review the footage. Oh no, something is breaking. Something is breaking horribly. I don't have the explosive jump drive mod on this time. Let's actually cut power for a second, just because the thruster sound is so loud. I'm positive it's really loud. It's slowing down. But we aren't. Alright, let's turn power back on. Engage full weapons. Do we still have... Yes, we have forward... we have upwards thrust too. So if I do... this... Yes. There we go. That did some serious damage to him. Well, maybe more so to myself. Come on, I think I just lost, all hydrogen capabilities in my left nacelle. Now, each nacelle is its own contained system, so each hydrogen generator is connected to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. So that means all of my generators, or at least all of the conveyors between them, have been knocked out. And, well, probably all the thrusters are destroyed as well. Come on. Let's get out of this. Forwards. Turn off inertial dampeners, just go forwards. Don't try to slow down, just move. I think it is time to... let's jump 2156. Warp... uh-oh. Warp drive. Let's, well, actually, let's just do this. Jump drives. Jump. Blind jump, 2,000 kilometers. Oh man. It'll be a while before they catch up to us. Let's turn off that alarm because it is quite annoying. Okay, we are slowing. Let's check out the damage. Oh. Well, already I can tell you that the gravity's offline. That's not good. Is the generator still there or just destroyed completely? Let's go find out. Okay, oh. Well, huh. This is where the gravity generator was and where it no longer... No, wait, I'm on the roof. This is where the gravity generator was and no longer is. Alright, so major damage there. Let's throw a gravity generator on anyway, just to so we can walk around and inspect what's happening. That's fine. Nope, that'll give us 2 Gs, won't it? Because let's just place one dead center. Okay, we have gravity once more. Let's take a walk around the main section of the ship. You can see in the in main engineering, looks like, yeah, a lot of reactors have lost their containment. I'm going to see about turning inertial dampeners back on. I turned them off, and I don't recall why. But I did. Oh, I can just enter through here. That's mighty convenient. There we go. Okay, let's go down. We have gravity. That is good. Gravity's good. Med bays are still here. It's awesome. This section of the hull is still intact. Up front is where things get a little bit different. We have doors that don't open. I think we can bypass that section. No, we can't. We cannot do that. There is no longer a section to bypass. Let's try it from the starboard side. The starboard side looked a little bit more rough. Yeah, we have a hole right there, but we may have... Well, we may have access to... Yes, we do have access to the front. I think this was the area where all the cryopods were. That is an incredible amount of damage that this ship sustained. And yet it still flies, it still functions. It didn't have any gravity, but it has plenty of power, plenty of gyros. A few weapons still there, so if those ships still came at us, we could still continue to fight for a limited amount of time. The main shuttle bay, let's go back in, and let's run up to the main shuttle bay and see what that looks like from the inside. So that is the wrong way. We want to go this way, and then make a left, and no, open the door, not close the door, and head up the stairs. It looks brighter than it did before. That's because the roof is gone, as well as most of the door. We have one spotlight still active, and well, the other one is out of commission. We're going to get electrocuted by that. I can still open a couple of these doors. I can turn off their one remaining spotlight. Okay, well, that was the Cascade Class light destroyer, my own creation. Well, where am I? Let's put a GPS point down on my current position. Okay, where am I? I am 2,000 kilometers over here. So, let's see this. There we go. There is what's left of my ship. We still have our port navigational lights. Or maybe it's just one light. I can't tell. I think the other one's gone. The starboard ones are no longer doing light things. A lot of the thrusters have been destroyed. As I already showed you, the entire part of main engineering is just gone. The nacelle's hanging on by a few threads. Starboard one, not too bad. We still have... Well, you can see the jump drive's right here charging. And this one's offline. But we still have a lot of hydrogen here. So, this was my ship. It took a while to design it. I wanted it to be like a Starfleet vessel, and I think I did a pretty darn good job. You can find it on the workshop as Star Trek Cascade Class Light Destroyer. As I mentioned earlier, I will continue to update it whenever I find an error with it, or when I decide to make it even more geared for survival. Right now, it is really only meant for creative, but that should change hopefully in the future. Whenever I'm online in a multiplayer server, this is the ship that I plan on using. I've used it quite a few times in the past already, and it has not disappointed me. It is extremely cool, and so yeah. Cascade Class Light Destroyer, my first space engineer ship. If you guys enjoyed this video of me rambling on about how great of a space engineer I am, well then please be sure to leave the video a like. And if you are not subscribed and you want to see more space engineers, well then please subscribe, because I do definitely plan to record more of this in the future. If for whatever reason you guys did not enjoy the video, probably because I was rambling on about how great of a space engineer I was, well then I do apologize for that, and I ask that you leave a comment in the comment section and let me know how I can better improve the quality of the next videos that I produce, so that hopefully you guys will find some enjoyment in watching them. So I think that just about finishes this video up. Let's see if I can find the bridge. Actually, it finishes up this video. I don't think you ever want to end sentences with a preposition. I think I learned that somewhere. Okay. As always, I am Foxtrot Delta. Come on, let's... Uh-oh. Wrong buttons everywhere. Okay. And I will see you next time.